Vishishtadvaiti, the Jiva is not the same as it is for the Dvaiti. And obviously for the Advaitin it is completely different. So we say that Brahman does not have name or form in the highest level possible. So in this way, even within schools of thought that call themselves Vedantic, you have several bhedas, again, you have several differences in the way that they conceptualize the system. So as far as Advaita goes, Moksha is very simple. Moksha is realizing that you are none other than Brahman. It is that simple. Vedanta Siddhanta Nirukti Resha Brahmaiva Jivaha Sakalam Jagatcha. This is in half a line, they have summarized everything that you could possibly need to know. Vedanta Siddhanta Nirukti, the decided holding, the verdict of Vedanta is this. Brahmaiva Jivaha. Brahman is the Jiva. There is no separate entity from Brahman called the Jiva. In the same way, Sakalam Jagatcha. The world itself, the cosmos, the universe also does not have an existence independent of Brahman. It is Brahman that appears as the Jagat. So this is the situation. So now it falls on the Advaitin to prove this. So how do you explain this? How can you say that the Jiva is one with Brahman? How can you say that Brahman is the Jagat? How can you say that when the Jiva and Brahman are so obviously different, how can you say that they can attain unity? So all of these are questions that the Advaitin then needs to answer satisfactorily. So at least when it comes to moksha, these are some of the questions that we'll be dealing with today. Because most of the questions, most of the akshepas, most of the discrepancies that people find occur in the nature of Advaitin's moksha and also with the way that it is defined. So if we understand what moksha is, a lot of the problems we will have concerning the understanding of Advaita get solved. And so a lot of people say, Bhagavad-pada said that I am God. And you will have heard this in many places. When Bhagavad-pada says Aham Brahmaasmi, Bhagavad-pada is saying that I am God. How is this possible? First of all, Aham Brahmaasmi is not Bhagavad-pada's statement. Aham Brahmaasmi comes from the Upanishads. Second of all, Bhagavad-pada is not saying I am God. And because this word God is first of all an English word, so it has different connotations altogether. But in the way that the questioner is asking this, the word God there means Ishvara. Right? When you say God, you mean whoever is responsible for the Srishti Sthiti Laya of the universe, right? Whoever is responsible for creating, maintaining and dissolving this universe, the person that gives jivas their karma phalas, the person who is sarvajna, omniscient, sarvagata, sarvavyapaka, omnipresent, sarvashakta, omnipotent. This is who we mean when we say God or Ishvara. So Bhagavad-pada is not saying that I am Ishvara. The difference, to understand this, you need to know again the difference between Brahman and Ishvara. So Brahman is Shuddha Chaitanya. Brahman is also called Shuddha Chaitanya. So Chaitanya that is untouched by anything else. Chaitanya when nothing else is in the picture. Pure nothing other than Chaitanya, when nothing called Maya. When this Chaitanya, through the force of Maya, assumes the mastership of this universe, then it is called Ishvara. So it is not unity with Ishvara that we are propounding. When you use a word in such a way that it does not meet the dictionary definition, that is called Lakshana. Mukhyatara Vritti. That is a translated word. So when the word is not used in its direct sense, but has a denoted sense, that is called Lakshana. So for a very simple example, one example in Shastra is Takebhyo tadhi rakshetam. This is one statement that we will say, right? So the mother will put something out in the sun for it to dry or something, and she will tell the child, make sure that a cat does not touch this. She will say, make sure that cats or dogs, make sure that a dog does not touch this. If she says that make sure a dog doesn't touch it, it doesn't mean watch while a cat touches it. It means make sure that no animal touches this. Right? When she says make sure dogs don't touch it, that is not limited to only dogs. It means make sure birds don't touch it, cats don't touch it, cows don't touch it, buffaloes don't touch it. So the word dog that is used refers to a particular animal. Four legs and some mouth and teeth and a tail. A dog refers to that animal. But the intended meaning of that word is not just the dog, but any animal that might touch that food item is denoted by the word dog. So this is called lakshana, right? This is something that is very common to our daily life. In the same way, we will also say Ganga. This is also another saying called Gannavaram Moksha. This is another famous saying. So Moksha is a village, a small village. So he says that the village is in the Ganga. How can a village be inside the Ganga? They will all drown. The village is inside the Ganga. So what it means is, the word Ganga there does not mean the river, but it means the vicinity of the river. So obviously the village will not be inside the river, but it will be on the bank of the river. So this also will say, where do you live? You will say Chennai. In the city proper, no. You will be somewhere on the outskirts. But if you tell that name, people may not know it, so you say Chennai. So there again, the word Chennai does not mean the city district, whatever the lines of the city's jurisdiction may be, but it means in proximity to Chennai. Right? So in this way, there are several instances, even in our day-to-day life, where this lakshana is used. Right? So where the word does not mean its dictionary definition, but there is a slight change to the meaning as per the situation demands. So the same thing is applied in Shastra also. So when we say Tattvamasi, we need to take Lakshana here. So this Tvam, this Tat refers to Ishvara, Tvam refers to Jiva, and both of these are denoted by certain qualities. For example, there is a Ishvara has certain qualities called omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence, and Sarvajna, Sarvashakta. All of these are qualities of Ishvara. But the Jiva also has certain peculiar qualities that only exist in the Jiva. Kinchitya, being limited in knowledge, Alpashakti Mata, being Alpashakti Matva, being limited in his potential, right? So all of these are qualities of the Jiva. So obviously these two cannot be one. Right? There's something that is omnipotent and something that is limited in knowledge cannot be one. That is not possible. Bhagavad says, Tamah Prakashayoiva, Viruddha Dharmavatta. Just as darkness and light cannot be the same entity because they have different qualities, obviously in the same way, Ishvara and the Jiva cannot be one because they have opposing qualities. So then, how do you interpret this? So then we take something called Lakshana. This Lakshana is used again. And we say that the word Tat, which means Ishvara, actually denotes the Chaitanya of Ishvara. So there is a Chaitanya of Ishvara upon which some qualities have been added. Upon which this omnipotence, omnipresence, omniscience, all of these qualities have been added atop the Chaitanya of Ishvara. Maya, for example, all of this has been added atop Ishvara. In the same way, when we say Tvam, the Jiva also has a Chaitanya, and on top of that Chaitanya, face is the same. So the thing is, the way the pratiti, the way that this experience goes is that my face appears there. Right? That is what you say. I see my face in the mirror. So there is a reflection, and there is also another face atop your head. So these are separate in that this face is in this location, the other face is in the mirror. Right? This face is 3D, that face is 2D, right? It is flat. So there are differences in qualities of this reflection and of the actual image. But at the end of the day, the face is one. Right? The face in the mirror is not some different entity that has popped up out of nowhere. The face that is seen in the mirror is no different from your face. So in the same way, the Chaitanya of Ishvara is no different from the Chaitanya of Jiva. It is only that the Upadhi, the reflecting medium, has changed. So realizing this is the jnana that will give you moksha. So that is why we say Tattvamasya Vakyotha Samyek Dhi Janma Matrataha. So there is a Dhi, there is a jnana that is born. How is this jnana born? From the Tattvamasya Vakya. From the Mahavakyas, right? Mahavakyas are Aham Brahmaasmi Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma. What is a Mahavakya? Why is it called a Mahavakya? Maha means big, Vakya means a sentence. So a long sentence should be a Mahavakya. In Champurayana, you will have a Vachana, Tadanim, Udannagallamghana Drishatara Nishpinda Charana Nishpinam Soda Akshama Akshama Pradesha, you have a long Gadya. That is also a Mahavakya. It is a long sentence that has come. But that is not what we mean when we say a Mahavakya. A Mahavakya is a sentence that is great because it teaches you something that is very immense. There is nothing greater to be taught than this Brahma, Jiva Brahma Aikya. So any statement that teaches us about Jiva Brahma Aikya is called a Mahavakya. So we are familiar with these four Mahavakyas that Bhagavad has put in the four Pithas. For example, the Rigveda, Prajnanam Brahma has been given to one Pitha. Here in the Dakshinamaya Pitha, the Yajurveda Pitha, a Mahavakya from the Upanishad of the Yajurveda, Brahadaranyaka, has been given Aham Brahmaasmi. Then again in Dwaraka, the Samaveda Pitha, you have Tattvamasi from the Chandogya Upanishad, which occurs in the Samaveda, and Ayavatma Brahma. So these are all from one Veda. But there are plenty of other Mahavakyas that you have occurred through the Upanishads. So for example, in Kathopanishad is a string of Vakyas, Etadvaitat, Etadvaitat, Etadvaitat. It comes for several times, over and over again. Just as Tattvamasi is repeated 9 times in Chandogya, this Etadvaitat, that is this, or this is that. That this is the Jiva, that is the Ishvara. So that repeats, the sentence repeats over and over again. In the same way, this Aham Brahmaasmi, the Yajurveda Mahavakya is from the Shukla Yajurveda. So this Katha is in Krishna Yajurveda, but also in the Mahanarayana, you have Ahamasmi Brahmaasmi, Ardhan Jalati Jyotir Jalati, Yohamasmi Brahmaasmi. This is also a Mahavakya. So there are many such Vakya in Ishavasya, you will find some such Vakyas. So, again, I forget the exact sentence, but you will find these Mahavakyas in every single Upanishad. Because the goal of each Upanishad is the same. To teach you about this Jiva Brahma Aikya, that is the path to getting Moksha. So this is another aspect of Moksha that we need to understand in Advaita, is that our Paramasiddhanta is Jnana Devatu Kaivalyam. So this release that you need from samsara. Right? So samsara is what it is, in many regional languages, we use the word samsara to mean married life. But that is not quite what samsara means in Shastra. Samsara means, as per Vyakarana, samyak sarati, that which continues throughout all times is called samsara. So that cycle of birth and death that is ever repeating. Sasya viva matyah jayate, sasya viva matyah pachyate, sasya viva ajayate punaha. Nachiketa says to Yama, I have seen the state of jivas. They are born again and again, and they die again and again like a crop. So every season a new crop will come, it will die. Another crop will come and it will go. Sasya viva matyah pachyate. That crop goes. Sasya viva ajayate punaha. So that is the state of the jiva. He is ever subject to birth and death. When you say moksha, release, you mean release from this samsara. And this is only possible through jnana. This is only possible through knowledge. Why? Because the nature of bondage is that of ignorance. So the solution or the medicine for any illness depends on the nature of the illness. If the nature of the cure was independent of the illness, then a doctor could prescribe the same medicine to every single patient. But that is obviously not the case. So the cure is always dependent on the problem, on the illness. So in the same way here, our rishis and our shastras have identified the problem to be mithya jnana. That is the problem. So improper cognition, improper knowledge is the reason why we have tied ourselves to this body. So the sequence that is put is dukkha janma pravritti dosha mithya Uttarottarapaye tadanantarapaya davarnaha. This is a Nyaya Sutra, but Bhagavad refers to this in the Bhashya as well to show the sequence of the Jiva. So it is the universal experience that anyone that is born has to undergo some suffering or the other. That is an inescapable fact. If you have taken upon a body, you will have to undergo the fruits of punya and papa, because this body has been taken up for the very sake of experiencing those karmas. So regardless of whether you are born as a king, regardless of how wealthy you may be born, regardless of how healthy you may be, you will at some point or the other have to undergo dukkha. That is inescapable. So dukkha comes because you have a body. Why did this body come? This body comes because you have committed some karma in the past. So to experience the fruits of that karma, you have been born. Because Bhagavan, in the law of the universe that Bhagavan has put forth, you cannot leave with an unsettled account. If you have a debt, you need to be born again to settle that debt. So if you have karma that is still in your account that you have not experienced, you must be born again to experience it. Our problem is when we are born, we keep adding to that account. We don't only experience the karma of past lives, but we create new karma for ourselves to be experienced in future lives. So this is the problem that we have. So this body exists because you have karma. So then, okay, let us get rid of the karma. Why have I accumulated karma? So Bhagavad, the sutra says, pravritti. Because you have a desire to act, you are moved to action. Dukkha janma pravritti karma dosha. So because you have chitta doshas, because there are certain impurities in your mind, you are moved to action. These are called raga and dvesha. Yoga sutras have put 5 asmita, abhinivesha. These are all additions to raga and dvesha. These are all extrapolations of raga and dvesha, but in the very root form, the doshas that we suffer from are raga and dvesha. Because of raga, we act to get something that causes us pleasure. Because of dvesha, we act to get rid of something that causes us displeasure. Right? If it is hot, we act to turn on the AC. If it is cold, we act and turn on the heater. Right? It is that simple. So our likes and dislikes are what cause us to act. So then, okay, so then the solution is now to get rid of the likes and dislikes, to get rid of raga and dvesha. How do you get rid of raga and dvesha? So then the question becomes, why did this raga and dvesha come in the first place? So there, the root problem is mithya jnana, improper knowledge. This improper knowledge is also called adhyasa, specifically to Vedanta, improper identification of the Atma with the body. So, for example, in the example I just gave, it is hot outside, you wish to get rid of that heat, so you turn on the AC. So, whose sukha are you really wishing for here? When you say, I am hot, who is experiencing the heat?
Body.
The body. You are separate from the body. We all know this very well. It is because we know that we are separate from the body that we are okay with cutting our nails, we are okay with getting a haircut. Right? If for some reason the doctor says you need to lose weight, you are okay reducing your body. If the doctor says you have to gain weight, you are okay increasing your body. Right? It is because we know that we are not the body that we are okay with the body changing. Because we are secure that whatever is within us as I is separate from the body. So therefore we know that changing the body will not change this I-ness inside of me. Right? So although we know that at some degree, although we know that we are separate from the body, we still act out of raga and dvesha towards the body. So when the body is feeling hot, you say, I am feeling hot. When the body is feeling cold, you say, I am feeling cold. So this is the mithya jnana that is there. So because of this, you act. And this extends beyond the body. Right? So I am afraid. Fear is in the mind. Sarvam mana eva. So, lajja, shame, dhi, any intelligence that you have, bhi, fear, kama, sankalpa, vichikitsa, shraddha, ashraddha, all of these are ityatam sarvam mana eva. These are all just various states of the mind. But we identify ourselves with that and therefore we commit some more actions. So the root of this problem lies in this adhyasa. Adhyasa atasmin tadbuddhi adhyasa. So thinking that something is that which is not. So to bring it back is the jiva is thinking that he is the jiva rather than thinking that he is Brahman. The jiva is considering himself someone bound in this cycle of samsara. He is considering him as someone that is limited, someone that has limited potential, limited knowledge, that is bound to die, that is destined to die, and therefore someone that fears death. Right? So all of these are things that the jiva has thrust upon himself due to identification with the body and the mind, with the body-mind complex. This is what Shastra calls karya karana sandhata. The karya is the body, the karanas are the instruments. So the indriyas, the jnanendriyas and the mind, and the karmendriyas also. So this karya karana sandhata, you have the feeling of I-ness in that, rather than thinking that you are Brahman. So if you can cure this, if you can cure your perception of yourself, if you can cure your understanding of your true nature, that will be enough to release you from whatever bondage that you have. So that is why we say jnana devatu kaivalyam tameva viditva amritatvameti. Only having known that Paramatma, ati mrityumeti, you transcend death. And as if to stress it even more, Veda then says, Nanyah pantha vidyate ayanaya. There is no other path that you can take in this journey. Veda has stressed this that much, that you cannot solve your problems in a permanent way unless you get the knowledge that dispels the improper cognition from which all of your problems stem. Otherwise, you will forever be treating the symptoms and not the actual illness. That is our state right now. We will have questions and answers after.
Question? Can you repeat the Jnana Sutra? Dukkha
Janma pravritti dosha mithya uttarottarakaye tadanantarakaya apavartaha. This is the sutra. It will be there in the Bhashya. It is in the Chatussutra. You will find it in the beginning. So this is why Veda has stressed that we should attain knowledge. So then, now that we have decided what this moksha is, now there are some questions that come up, logical questions that come up about the nature of this moksha. So, in the Puranas and Itihasas, we will have heard of this Chaturvidha moksha, or Chaturvidha mukti. These are Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sayajya. Right? These are all four, these are been told to be moksha. What do these mean? Salokya. You go to the loka as the devata. Samipya. You don't only go to that loka, but you get a VIP pass. You can be very close. Samipya. You are not only in the same loka, but you can sit here instead of sitting there. Samipya. Then Sarupya. You will attain the same akara as the devata. If you are a Shiva Bhakta, you will also have 3 eyes and tiger skin and a Trishula. If you are a Vishnu Bhakta, you will also have 4 arms and a Kirita and Kaustubha and Srivatsa and all that. So this is Sarupya. The last is Sayujya, which Advaitis don't accept. They say Sayujya does not exist. Only the Advaitin accepts Sayujya. Sayujya is where you merge with the Devata. So the Devata, or what we are calling the Devata, is Ishvara. You, the Upasaka, is the Jiva. So the Jiva merging with Ishvara is basically this Jiva Brahma Aikya that we have just talked about. How the Chaitanya of the Jiva and the Chaitanya of Ishvara become one. That is basically what we mean when we say, are realized to be one, when we say Sayajya. So the thing to remember here is, these first 3 mokshas are only Gauda mokshas. So what does Gauda mean? It means namesake. These first 3, this Sarupya, Samipya and Salokya, these 3 mokshas are only mokshas in namesake, but they are not permanent mokshas. Because in our Puranas, we have numerous instances where someone in Kailasa has come back to Bhuloka, someone in Vaikuntha has come back to Bhuloka. That cannot be the case. Nasapunara vartate. That is what Veda is saying. Moksha is forever, it is permanent. Right? There is no coming back. Because, to go back to what we have been talking about, once you have gotten proper knowledge, Prama, there is no question of you getting Brahma again. So, the rope snake is a very common example, right? You think that there is a snake, but it actually turns out to be a rope. So now, once you have turned on the light, and you have seen the snake, you have seen that there is no snake but a rope. There is no force in this earth that can make you see a snake again. Even after turning on the light and looking at the rope, if someone tells you, I want you to see a snake, that cannot happen. That will not happen. Because, we will talk about that later, why the nature of protection is so. But you cannot get Brahma again. So if we are saying that the cause of this samsara is some Brahma, some improper knowledge, and that has then been removed by proper knowledge, then there should be no question of there being improper knowledge ever again. Right? So this acquisition of proper knowledge is permanent. So even as per this stream of thought, there is no way that someone that has gotten moksha can come back. So if that is the case, then Jaya Vijaya have gone to Vaikuntha. Right? Samipya, Salokya, they are the border, the Dwarpalakas, they are so close to Vishnu. They are so close enough to feel possessive, they were so close that they felt possessive enough to stop Sanaka and Sanatana from going in. So if you felt that closely, that protective of Vishnu, imagine how close they would have been. But they were born not just again, but as Rakshasas on top of that. It was not even like they got some nice janma as a rishi or something. They were born as Rakshasas. So if that is, and there are numerous stories in Puranas also where even people that in Kailasa, they have also gotten shapas and come back. So we are all very familiar with Kubera. Right? Kubera is a Dikpalaka of he is the Dhanadipati. He is very close to Shiva. Right? He is Dhanapati Mitra, Shiva is called. So despite Kubera being this close to Shiva, if we look at his name, Kutsitam Beram Yasya, he whose form is decrepit, he whose form is marred. So why did he turn like that? So this person actually did tapas for Shiva and Parvati, and Shiva and Parvati appeared in front of him. And even then, he looked upon Parvati not as a mother but with a different gaze. With the drishti that you should never have towards Devi, he looked at her that way. So with anger out of that, he got a shapa and he had to be born again. And he was cursed to have this kutsita beda, to have this disfigured shape. So that is the state of someone that has had darshana of Parameshwara, that has had this akshatkara of Parvati and Parameshwara and lives in the foothills of Kailasa. So through all these stories in the Puranas, it is very obvious that merely going to a loka cannot be moksha, it cannot be permanent. So that is why it is only Sahitya, this fourth moksha, that is permanent. So then we will again get another question. In all of these things, you will see, you tell this stotra, or you worship this Ishvara, you will never be born again. Right? So many stotras, you will see that in the Palashti. In so many stotras, you will see, you worship Devi this way, and you will never be born again. If it was only that easy, life would be so nice for so nice for us. So we need to understand these kind of statements in two ways. First of all is that some of these are just arthavadas. Arthavadas are arthavadas are statements that are not meant to be taken literally. The child does not want to eat vegetables or fruits. The mother will say, if you eat these, you will become very strong. As soon as he eats the banana, he will not turn into a bodybuilder. It is a statement, you will gain some strength. That is all. It is not to be taken to a very extreme level. Right, in the same way we have something that you eat, you eat some vegetable and you will become intelligent. Will you actually become intelligent by eating vegetables? That is a different statement. But it helps to some degree. So we can take it that way. So the worship of Ishvara, the Parayana of these stotras or this mantropasana will help to some degree in getting this knowledge. It will help to some degree in removing papa. But it will not give you moksha as if you have signed a check and you cash it. It is not that easy. But we do have this concept of krama mukti. So this is also accepted. Krama mukti is also a sequence that is accepted. So there are two angas to jnana. So as we said, jnana is what gives us moksha. So if I sit down today and say I want jnana, it will not come. Because jnana needs a lot of samskara. Shastra acharyopadesha shamadamadi samskritam manaha atmadarshane karanam. Bhagavad Pada says in the Gita Bhashya. So Shastra, you need to have done some philosophical contemplation. Then Acharyopadesha, you need to have qualified teacher be teaching you what the nature of Atman is. Then Shama, Dhamma, Adi, Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, all of these qualities that are necessary. So a manas that has been samskrita, refined by doing all of these. a manas that has been refined by conducting philosophical inquiry, a manas that has been refined by doing Ishvara, a manas that has been cultivating Shama and Dama and Vairagya and all of this. So such a mind becomes Yogya. Such a mind, only for such a mind it is possible to actually grasp the knowledge of this Jiva Brahma Aikya. So, to get that samskara, there are mainly two angas that you have: jnana, karma, and upasana. This is what we call karma marga and bhakti marga. So, if you wish to go in the jnana marga, right, we have read through jnana marga, bhakti marga, karma marga. Anything that we do in Sanatana Dharma will fall into one of these. It will be something karma related, something worship, upasana, Ishvara related, something related to the worship of Ishvara, or something related to the pursuit of knowledge. So the pursuit of knowledge is the main path that needs to be taken. But there are two tributary rivers that flow into this that are called karma and upasana. So you need these two if you wish to get proper jnana. So through karma you get chitta shuddhi. Through Ishvara upasana you get ekagrata. That is karmani chitta shuddhyartham, aikagryartham upasanam, mokshartham brahma vijnanam. Iti Vedanta Retreat. There is one stotra called the Vedanta Retreat stotra. It is a very nice stotra and it is very easy. The Sanskrit is also very, you don't even need to know Sanskrit to understand it. So it is a good stotra to refer to in your free time. So what they are saying here is, so through karma, you get rid of all the impurities in your mind. Kashaye karma bhivpakve, tato jnanam pravartate, is another statement in Smriti. So through karma, through the performance of consistent regular karma, your mind eventually gets trained to become free of all of its blemishes. Through doing Ishvaropasana, it learns to focus on something. Ekagrata is right. Ekagrata means, agra means a point. Ekagrata being single-pointedly focused on something. So this is what you get through Ishvaropasana. And then again there are two phalas for this. So for someone that is going in this karma marga and he dies, he passes, he leaves the body before he gets jnana, there is one path. For someone that has been doing this upasana for the sake of jnana and he leaves his body before he gets jnana, there is one path. This is what you all have heard this before in Gita. Agnarjyotirah shuklaha Shadmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. This is for the people that do upasana. Then the karma marga people have a second path. Bhomo Ratrisatha Krishna Shadmasa Lakshanayanam Tatra Prayata Tatra Chandramasam Jyoti Yogi Prapya Nivartate. These are the two paths that they have to do. This is what we have in Veda. Karmana Pitrulokaha Vidyaya Devalokaha. This is the same statement. So through karma you go to Pitruloka. Through upasana you go to Devaloka. This is the statement. And there is also one more thing in Gita that for someone in the karma marga, tatra chandramasam jyotihi prapya. So the Chandra Loka is actually Pitruloka. The Chandra Devata and the Pitru Devatas have a very intimate relationship in Shastra. Which is why those of you that are in the practice of doing Brahma Yajna, when you do Pitru Tarpana, you say, Soma Pitrumanyam, Girasvan, Agnishmat, you tell that Somaha Pitruman. So this Soma Devata is always associated with the Pitru Devatas in some way or the other. So this Chandra Loka is none other than the Pitru Loka. So the person that does Karma Marga, that is in Karma Marga, he will go to that Chandra Loka. But there he will experience whatever fruit is born of his karmas and he will return. Yogi Prapya Nivartate. He will come back. But his sadhana will remain. His progress is same. Only thing is he will just go to that loka and come back and then tatra labate paurvadehikam, tatra kam buddhi sanyogam labate paurvadehikam. He will come back. Wherever his sadhana stopped, he will keep going. This is for the karma marga people. Then for the people that have done Ishvaropasana, they go to Devaloka. This is what is called Brahmaloka. So this Brahmaloka is again a very particular concept. It is also called Hiranyagarbhaloka. So there is one being called Hiranyagarbha. He is called the Prathama Jiva. He is a Jnani. He is a realized soul. And he is the Adhipati of Satyaloka. So the Satyaloka is what is called Brahmaloka. There are again Matavedas here referred in Shastras when you look. But generally speaking, this Satya Brahmaloka is presided over by Hiranyagarbha. He is also referred to by the name Brahma. So this Hiranyagarbha, the people that come to his loka, having done upasana for the sake of jnana, they stay there. They do not go back. That is what Bhagavan has said in Gita is Tatra prayata gachanti Brahma. So this Brahma means that Karya Brahma. It is called Karya Brahma. This Hiranyagarbha. He goes to that Brahma and he stays there. There is no avritti from that. Again in Gita, he says, Brahma bhavana loka punaravartina. Arjuna, up to Brahma loka, whichever lokas are there, you will come back from there. Which means not including Brahma loka. In math, this is the round bracket, not the square bracket. Right? So the round bracket means that number is not included in the set. The square bracket means it is inside the set. So this is the round bracket. Wherein up to Brahma loka, when you give holidays for children, right, you will say 1st of September to 10th of September, both days inclusive, you will have to write, otherwise you will come on the 10th. So, like that, up to Brahma loka, not including Brahma loka, you will return from all of those lokas. Brahma loka is permanent for those people that have done upasana for the sake of knowledge. Because upasana can be done in two ways. There is Sattvika upasana and Rajasa upasana. Sattvika upasana is Ishvara upasana that is done for the sake of jnana. Rajasa upasana is upasana that is done for the sake of some phalita. So for example, Sri Vidya, a very famous form of upasana where Lalithadithya is worshipped as Ishwari. So there, you can do upasana of Devi for the sake of jnana, which is why in Lalithadithya you have some more adhikaranas out of the Brahma. Dharaka Ashalupini, this is one statement. Bhavana Mandala Madhyastha, the other adhikarana is Bhavana Mandala Madhyastha. So there are some Brahma Vidyas that are there within the Lalita Sahasranama itself. Tattvamasya Adhivakyartha, Tattvamarthaswarupini, all of these are vakyas that names that are there in Lalita Sahasranama that are very clearly jnana oriented. But then again there are some people that can also worship the very same Lalita for the sake of some other benefit. Rajyadayini, Raja Rajeshwari, Rajyadayini, Rajyavallabha. So if you want Samrajya, you want Aishwarya, yes, you can worship Devi for that reason also. So someone that has worshipped Devi Sakam with some desire in mind, Ishvara, not just Devi, any form of Ishvara, anyone that has done worship of Ishvara with some desire in mind, because of the fruit of their upasana, they will also go to that Devata's loka. They will also find that Ishvara. They will also go to that Ishvara's loka. But once that phalita is gone, they will come back. Those people that have done upasana for the sake of jnana, they get a permanent pass to stay. So, another thing in upasana is, so this Brahma loka that I just talked about, that is permanent. This is the same loka that different Devatopasakas call by different names. So, if you are worshipping Vishnu as Ishvara, you will call that Brahma loka Vaikuntha. If you are calling Devi as Ishvara, or if you are calling Ishvara as Devi, you will see that as Manidvipa. If you are thinking of Ishvara as Shiva, you will find that to be Kailasa. If you are thinking that as Ganapati, you will find that to be Chintamanidvipa. So, in this way, the Upasaka will find that same loka to be in whichever way that is conducive to his upasana. But it is the same loka that they all go to. Why? Because it is the same Ishvara that is Devi. The same Ishvara, you give it one form and a name, you are calling it Lalita. That same Ishvara, you put Jata, Joda and a Trishula, you are calling it Shiva. That same Ishvara, you paint it blue, you put a Shankha and a Chakra, you put a Tirunama and you are calling it Vishnu. That same Ishvara, you put an elephant face and a belly and you are calling it Ganesha. So because it is the same Ishvara, these Upasakas all end up in the same loka because they have been worshipping the same Ishvara. It is only that because of their Upasana, they will see that Ishvara as per whatever Upasana they have done. That is a very easily explainable discrepancy that we can resolve. So therefore, it is very important that when you do Upasana, you should be doing Upasana for the sake of jnana. Otherwise, as we have seen, the phala of Upasana that is done for any other desire is temporary. But the Upasana that is done for the sake of jnana will give you a relatively permanent phala. So what happens is, then you will end up in that Brahmaloka permanently. But even then you will not get moksha. So even then, that Ishvara in that loka has to do Upadesha, which is why, and then in Pralaya, there is a group moksha. That is what it is. They all are together as a satsang, as a bhajan group. They will get together and get moksha at once during Pralaya. Because Veda Brahmana sahate sarve sambhavte pratisanchare parasyarthe kritatmanaha pravishanti paramparam. So aparatha is the span of time that we ascribe to this Brahma. So at the end of that, there will be a pralaya. There is a prathameya parathe, right? The first paratha, the two parathas. Because we don't want to measure time with Brahma's passing, that is Avanga. So we don't say this time span is Brahma's lifespan. So instead we say this is 1/2 of Brahma's lifespan. So we do not refer to it as Brahma is born, Brahma has passed. So that is why it's created to two parathas. So at the end of all of that, they pravishanti paramparam, Brahmana saha, along with moksha the same. So Brahmamukti means Brahma moksha, Jivanmukti means Jivan moksha. So what is this Jivanmukti? Only the Advaita, the Advaitin accepts Jivanmukti. No other state, no other school of thought has the magnanimity of mind to truly appreciate the gravity of the statement. Because Jivan Mukti means that moksha can be attained here and now. This is a very strong statement to make. Because it means that you do not have to wait for someone else to save you. You do not have to wait for some savior. You do not have to wait for a different life. You do not have to wait to die. Moksha can be attained here and now. That is it is a very bold statement. And one that separates us from many other faiths of the world. If you say that your salvation is dependent on some other being that is sitting somewhere else, that system is not in your hand. If instead we say, this is completely up to you, this bondage belongs to you, and the release from this bondage is also belonging to you. You decide whether you want to be released or not. The agency is put in the hands of the jiva. The sadhaka is the one that decides his destiny. The sadhaka is the one that decides whether he will get moksha or not. It is not the mercy of some being that is sitting somewhere that you cannot even see. So that is the difference. That is why Sanatana Dharma is it is more spiritually advanced, even more so than other darshanas and other philosophies per se. Because it gives the jiva this agency. So Jivan Mukti means you can be released here and now. You can experience moksha in this life itself. Why do you want to wait to leave this body, wait until pralaya comes and then get jnana? When you can get jnana before this body falls. So Parikshit had 7 days. Right? When he asked Shuka Maharshi, he said, I have 7 days. Do you think I can achieve whatever it is that man can achieve? He says, why are you worried? There is Khandikya Maharshi. He got it in 45 minutes. You have so much time to prepare. You have 1 week. He got it in 45 minutes. So, what is your problem in getting it in 7 days? So, this kind of moksha exists. So, the question then becomes, if you, as we said, through Shastra, Acharyopadesha, Shama, Dhamma, once you have purified your manas to that extent, and once you have done enough Ishvaropasana to get Ishvara's anugraha, keep in mind, I am not denying the role of Ishvara in moksha, because Ishvara is very much necessary for several reasons. Number one, Ishvara is the manifestation of the Chaitanya that you want to enter. So it is obvious that you need to have an intimate relationship with that Ishvara, number one. Number two, during the path of sadhana, there are several things that are out of your hands. Right? Who says that you will be able to find a proper teacher? Who says that you will have the intelligence capable of doing all of this vichara? You may have all this. Who says that your body will be healthy long enough for you to do all of this? So for all of these aspects that are out of your control, you must and have to pray for Ishvara's anugraha, because he is the one that arranges the karma of this world. So it is only with his jurisdiction that you can make sure that there is a path for you to go in. If you want to go on a highway, you can drive a car, but the government needs to make sure that the highway is in working condition. If a tree falls and blocks the highway, someone has to remove that tree. If there is a pothole in the highway, someone has to fill that pothole. Right? If the road has sunken, someone has to pull that road up. So all of this exists. In the same way, although it is up to the sadhaka to go forward in his sadhana, he very much needs Ishvara's kripa to make sure that the path is smooth. And again, though, getting that Ishvara Anugraha is still up to the jiva. The attainment of Ishvara's Anugraha is still up to the jiva. So in Shastra, in the Sutras also, the simile given by Badarayana Maharshi is Parjanya. Just as Parjanya, rain. So rain will fall everywhere. Bhagavad says that Vaneva, Harnyeva, Samakaranipato, Himakaraha. Moonlight goes everywhere. It does not say you have an open air terrace, it will fall here. There is no one in the forest to appreciate the moonlight, so my rays will not fall there. That is not how the moon works. In the same way, rain also. It will not say, okay, he has planted the seeds for a field, so I will fall there. He has not plowed his field yet, I will not fall there. That is not the case. Rain will fall everywhere. Someone that has plowed the field will get a crop. If you have not put any work into your agriculture, then you will not get a crop. It is that simple. So you need Ishvara's kripa, provided you have done the work for it. Right, so you still need Ishvara, that is the point. The farmer can plow the crop and plow the land as much as he wants. But if it does not rain, there is nothing he can do. Right, so it is always, that relationship with Ishvara is always needed. But having done Upasana of Ishvara and having done the necessary vichara, with that purified mind, this soul becomes realized. By that time, he will get a certain vritti in his mind. It is called akhanda akara vritti. So the vritti of the mind that is conducive to dispelling ignorance once and for all. So once that comes, he will have gotten rid of avidya. Avidya will go away. And while being alive, while being present in this body, he will have attained moksha. So now, there is another question that many people have. See, this entire world is made up of avidya. Correct? We have said this samsara is made up of avidya. Yes, samsara is a product of avidya. So when we say that this jnana has gotten rid of avidya, everything should disappear. Right? So everything that is made of avidya should go. So when you have, let us say that a magician is doing some magic. The magic comes out of the magician. If you get rid of the magician, where will the magic come from? So when you have gotten rid of avidya, the products of avidya, which is this entire cosmos, should also be disappeared. So how does this person still persist with the body when avidya has been gotten rid of? This is the question. Right? So Acharya jokes sometimes during Patha that the jnani will not see this world as a black and white TV where we see it in color. So it is not like the jnani is somehow seeing some different prapancha that we see. The jnani will see the very same thing. Whatever wind touches us will touch his body also. The difference is that avidya has two forces. There are two aspects of avidya. One is called avarana, the other called vikshepa. Avidya has this shakti called avarana shakti, another shakti called vikshepa shakti. So ignorance, so what does it mean that avidya has two shaktis? It does not mean that there is an avidya sitting throwing avarana, throwing vikshepa. It means that ignorance acts in two ways. Ignorance acts in two ways. It can cover up the nature of something that does exist, and it can make something appear to exist that does not exist. Right? This is the job of ignorance. So again, to take our friend the rope and the snake. What does avidya do there? Avarana means it conceals the rope from being seen. Vikshepa, the snake that does not exist is made to appear as though it exists. So the concealment, avarana is a shroud, right? A yavanika, a curtain, that is also called an avarana. So an avarana is concealing the rope. So you do not understand the rope's true nature. Then vikshepa, vikshepa means a projection. Right? What is a projection? You see something that does not exist. So the snake that does not exist is being seen. In the same way, avidya on the cosmic level, avidya on the universal level also has these very same two things. So the avarana amsha, what does it do? It covers up Brahman. Because Brahman is also present in this universe, right? Brahman is the one that is morphed as this universe. It has undergone Vivarta to become this universe. So it covers up that Brahman, which is why we do not have the experience Aham Brahmaasmi. It is on the banner, but we do not feel it. Right? So that Aham Brahmaasmi, this feeling is concealed by the Avarana aspect of Avidya. And Aham Brahmaasmi, I am Prapanchaha, all of this is brought upon by Vikshepa. So the projection of the Prapancha where there is none. Right? Because this Prapancha is Mithya. That is what we say, the Jagat is Mithya. So you see a Jagat where there is none, and you do not see the Brahman, that is where this Jagat is imposed. So what happens to the Jivan Mukta is this Viksha, this Avarana Amsha is gone. So the part of Avidya that covers Brahman is gone. So the Jivan Mukta not only knows but experiences the fact that yes, I am Brahman. I am of the form of Satchidananda. Then we may say, well then Avidya is not completely gone. How is this Moksha? If you think back, what are we trying to get rid of? What did we say is Moksha? You have no more Dukkha. For that you need no more Janma. For that you need no more Karma. For that you need more Ragadvesha. Why do you have Ragadvesha? Because you are identifying as the body. That is gone for the Jnani. Let him see the world. What happens if he sees the world? He has no more identification with the body and the mind, and that is the root of all the problems. So there is, just because the Prapancha still exists in the Jivan Mukta phase does not mean that it is not Moksha. Because he is experiencing the Ananda nature of Atman, and he has also gotten rid of the cause of all of the Dukkha. So it is just as much a Moksha as for someone that does not see the Prapancha. So then we get the question, okay, we can accept that this Jnana has gotten rid of the concealing nature of Avidya. Why did it not get rid of the Vikshepa part of Avidya, of the projection part of Avidya? The reason is, Apratibaddha Jnanam Ajnanasya Nivartakam. So, Jnana should not be hindered by anything if it wishes to get rid of Jnana, Ajnana. So, for example, you want to get rid of the snake that you see. You want to not see the snake. But, let us say that is covered by darkness. There is that slight darkness that causes you to see it as a snake. Right? If there is complete light, you will not see a snake. You will see the rope as it is. So, your knowledge of the rope as the rope is hindered by the darkness. Right? The darkness is preventing you from seeing the rope as the rope. In the same way, there is this one bhuta called prarabdha karma that sits, preventing all of avidya from going. So, what this prarabdha is it is the karma that is meant for this sharira yatra. Right? So, there are two types of karma. We call it three, but it is actually two. Agami has not even come in, so forget about that. Sanchita and prarabdha. Sanchita is whatever is in the bank balance. Prarabdha is whatever you have in your pocket. That is the way it is. So whatever this jiva has accumulated as a mass, sum total, that is sanchita. That is what sanchita means, right? Accumulated. That is what sanchita means. Prarabdha means prarabdha, that which has already begun. So the effects of this karma have already begun to take place because of this body. So the karma that is meant to be experienced by this body is called prarabdha. And that will take place regardless of whatever happens. So, in one example that people give is an arrow. So, there is an arrow in the quiver, right? There is an arrow that is the tunila. So, you have not shot that yet. So, you are safe from that arrow. But there is an arrow that has already been shot from the bow. So, even if you want to step out, then the arrow is already gone. That is the nature of prarabdha. So what has happened for the jnani is, he has gotten rid of the quiver. So these arrows are all gone. But the prarabdha arrow has already gone forth. So until that hits the target, he will still have something to do with it. So until this prarabdha is exhausted, he has his sharira. But now you get the question. See, the jnani has no more ajnana left. As in, he has no more. In the same way, you see, Ramana Maharshi, he got some tumor kind of thing, right? So some doctor came and said, can I operate? He said, on this you can operate on this. He did not say you can operate on me. It is that you can operate on that. So he is seeing himself as separate from the body. That is the case of everything. Which is why also the Pratardhanadhikara, Shastra Drishtiya Upadesham, there Indra comes to this king and says to Pratardhana, this king called Pratardhana, and says, Tam mam ayuramritam upasva, he says. So Indra appears to this king called Pratardhana. So this is an Upanishadic story. So this king Pratardhana, he helped Indra fight the Rakshasas. So you see this red Dasharatha went and helped him. This Dileepa went and helped Indra. So every now and then, this Swargaloka calls these kings of Bhuloka for reinforcements. So this Pratardhana is one such king that went and helped Indra, and Indra said, okay, I will give you a vara, ask. So he thought for a bit. Everyone before me has asked for some Kalparuksha, Chintamani, Rambha, Urvashi, Kamadhenu, I should not ask for that. So he asked, Yat tvam hitatam manyase, whatever you think is the best thing I should ask for, give me that, he says. A very smart answer. So then Indra tells him, Atma Vidya, the best thing that any human can hope to achieve is moksha. And for that he gave him jnana. So there, what is Indra saying? He says, you need to know Atman, is what he should say, right? Indra should say, you should realize Atman. But what does he say instead? Mam ayuramritam upasva. Do upasana of me. Upasana here means knowledge. Seek to know me. Seek to know me who am of the nature of Amrita. So there is a big adhikarana here. Where tam mam pranam ayuramritam upasva. Does this prana mean mukhya prana as the Advaitis take it, or is it Brahman? All of that is in sutras. But the point here is that Indra refers to himself as Mam. When Indra means do upasana of Brahman, realize Brahman, Indra says realize me. Indra, he is speaking. You realize me is what he says. Why did Indra say that? Because Indra, as the guru in that situation, is speaking as a realized soul. For the realized soul, Brahman is not something else. It is who he is, it is his identity. That is his sat, that is his chit, that is his asti, priyam, bhati. That is what it is for that jnani. So, because Indra, as a realized soul in that situation, he knows that he is Brahman. His identity is not Indra, someone that has just fought a battle with Pratardhana, someone that is ruling Swarga. As the realized guru that is teaching them, as the Shrotriya Brahmanishtha that is teaching, as the guru Indra is speaking. So in that situation, he is now sitting there as a realized soul wanting to teach this king. So instead of saying, no Brahman, he says, no me. Because for that soul, Brahman is him. So there is no difference in the expression that thought finds. So the expression will be, no me. Because me there is Brahman. So in the same way, because the jnani is Brahman, he is not the body anymore. He has nothing to do with the body anymore. That is what that Nirvana, Name Dvesha, Name Loha, all of that comes from the jnani's experience that the Raga, Dvesha, they belong to the mind. This Punya, Papa, they belong to this, again to the body-mind complex. I have nothing to do. Chidananda Rupa. I am of the nature of Chaitanya and Ananda. I have nothing to do with all of this. So, when we say that even the prarabdha does not touch the jnani, we agree. But for our sakes, so as someone sitting next to the body of the jnani, we see that jnani, something touches him, he will feel that. So all of that is still there. The jnani still continues lokavyavahara, but he does it not feeling any abhimana towards the body and the mind. So the jnani interacts with the same world that we do. It is just that he interacts with it as Brahman, we interact with it as the jiva. Therefore, we are tied, we are emotionally invested in it. We feel raga and dvesha towards this prapancha. But the jnani, knowing that there is no prapancha in reality, knowing that he as the Shuddha Brahman has no connection to it, sees it as he would a movie. When you watch a movie, you will see people fight, you will see people fall in love, you will see people fall apart, you will see people die. But we are very happy, we laugh. When someone dies, we are sitting there happy, what a movie he has done. Even when the hero dies, we will say, what a twist in the plot. We don't cry. In the same way, if something like that happens to someone that we know, we are crying. What is the difference? We are seeing the movie, but we know that it is not true. The same way this Jnani watches this world like a movie. He knows it is happening, he interacts with it, he may even have fun with it. Just as we watch the movie knowing it is not true, we will still sometimes laugh and cry, while knowing that it is not true. In the same way, the Jnani may also sometimes laugh in the world, he may also cry in the world, he may also, experience something, but it does not touch him. It is all just a play. It is a krida. Which is why there is a shloka of Bhartrahari. Yakritva Vishwarangam Rajani Yavanigam Bhanachandradidipam. He compares this entire prapancha to a play. Mukunda Swayamapi Ramate Kridayan Sostu Bhutye. So this is the entire play. Yakritva Vishwarangam. This entire prapancha is the stage. Rajani Yamanika. So there is a curtain for the stage, right? The night is the curtain. So when Bhagavan says an act, right, in a play, when one act finishes and the next act needs to begin, the curtain will fall. So the night is that curtain. Bhavana Chandradi Deepam. The stage needs some lighting. Surya and Chandra are the lighting. Now who are the actors? Because Bhagavan is the producer, he is the director. He is saying, hey, you go and you act, you are the hero, you are the villain, you are the comedian, you are the extra, you are dubbing. All of this Bhagavan will decide. So who are the people that are playing out this play? The Jivas. Jiva Chhatran Mukunda. They are all under his control. The Jivas are dancing in this Vishwaranga, in this play. What are they dancing to? So he says, there is one mridanga that is playing. Those of you that know Natya, you will know that there is this Parasparashraya in dance, in that sometimes the mridanga will play based on the Nartaki's feet. So the jatis, some very experienced Mardangikas, they don't need to be told the song ahead of time. They will just play looking at the Nartaki's feet, and based on that they will figure out the jatis and play. Sometimes it will be the other way around. The song will be pre-decided, and based on that they will know what jatis to play, and the dancer will also dance to that. So in this case, there is one mridanga that is playing to make the jivas play in tune to this. There is one mridanga that is deciding the jatis and the laya that these jivas are dancing to. That what is that mridanga? Bhagavan has appointed one mridanga player. His name is Karma. So based on this mridanga called Karma, these jivas will be dancing on the stage. When this mridanga stops, they will stop dancing. So that is one shloka of Bhartrahari, that is a quite lovely shloka. So in the same way, this is a big play. This Jagat is a big play, and the Jnani sees it as exactly that. As long as he sees himself as a jiva, he will be subject to being forced to dance in the play. The second he realizes that he is not the jiva, he is the mukunda that is actually out of this play and is watching this play and having fun with it, then he is no longer prone to the sukha and the dukkha that people think this Jagat causes. So it is very much yuktipabala. It is very much logical that the Jivan Mukta exists. Although he is Mukta, he still sees the world, and although he still sees the world has nothing to do. He has nothing to do with the world. So it is this Jivan Mukti that only Advaita accepts. Even the Dvaiti schools within our Sanatana Dharma, even the Dvaiti, what is it? 450? So even the Dvaitin school of Sanatana Dharma, the Kaushavatas, the Bhagavatas, Shiva Vaishnavas, Sutra Bhashya Bhagavatas, Bhagavatas. So all of these people, for all of them, moksha, you have to die for moksha. That is, to put it bluntly, that you have to die if you want moksha. You can do however much sharanagati you want, you can do however much bhajana you want, whatever be the case, you have to die, and some Boeing 747 will come, get you, it will catch you and take you to Vaikuntha. Some Vimana will come. If you are a Vaishnava, it will be Air Vaishnava. If you are a Shaiva, it will be Air Shaiva. They will take you either to Vaikuntha or to Kailasa, and you will spend your time there. You will stay in that loka. That is moksha. So you must necessarily leave this loka to go to another one. But for us, as Advaitins, that is not the case. Moksha is here and now, which is why the Vedavakya says, Atra Brahma Samashnude. Atra, here, Brahma Samashnude. Brahman is experienced here and now. And also Amrita Iha Bhavati. Iha means Asmin Loke. Iha means here. Amrita Iha Bhavati. In Purusha we tell it so many times. right? Amrita iha bhavati. Here in this world itself, he will get Brahmajnana and experience Brahman. Only thing is to get Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti means Mukti without the body. Then once the body's prarabdha is gone, the body will fall and he will stay Brahman. Brahman has nothing to do with the body, right? So once it is done, the body will fall and we are calling that Videha Kaivalya. That is also there. Yavan navi mokshe atha sampatsye. This is what Chandogya says. Yavan navi mokshe. Until you do not get released from those prarabdhas, then once that is done, atha sampatsye, tada sampanno bhavati. You will then be sampanna, you will then have Brahmanubhuti completely. So Shastra also said that you need to wait for this prarabdha to finish for Videha Kaivalya. But Jivan Mukti is very much a thing, and that is what we are told to. When we are told that this Manushyanma is Durlabha, right? When Bhagavad Gita says Jantuvanam Narajanma Durlabham, that is what we mean. We have been given a body that is capable of doing this. Again, Shastra, Acharya, Shamadamadi, Sanskritam, Manaha, we have been given a Janma that is capable of getting all of these sadhanas together for once. We have eyes that can read. We are sitting in Sringeri. We have been given gurus who are of the very quality of the Jivan Muktas that we have just talked about. Where will you find a better guru than someone that is realized? And where better than in a parampara that goes back to Bhagavad Pada? So whatever other paramparas may be, here at least we say Anadya Vichanna Shri Shankaracharya Guru Parampara Prapta. So it is an unbroken line going back to Bhagavad Pada. So we are fortunate enough to live in a time where such acharyas walk the earth. So we have a guru, we have Shastra, Shamadana, we have such nice satsangas that are arranged that allow us to cultivate good qualities like Shama and Dama. So when you have such a good opportunity presented to you here, why would you want to let it go in hopes of something else? That is why this Manushya Janma is so stressed upon in Shastra. Because Jivan Mukti is possible. Because Jivan Mukti is possible, Manushya Janma has been given so much weight, so much importance. Prahlada says this too. When Narasimha comes in front of him, Prapta Sudurlabham Etat, Nrajanma Sudurlabham Etat. He says, having gotten this Durlabha Nrajanma, Manushya Janma, why would I even want to throw it away instead of coming to you, Narasimha? Prahlada says. So it is as we said in the beginning, Vedanta Siddhanta Nirukti Resha. This is the holding, this is the Nishtaya, this is the Nirnaya of all the Upanishads, not just the Upanishads. Again, Appaya Dikshitendra says, Yadyapyadvaita eva Shruti Shikharagiram Sagamanam Janishta Sagam Sarvesh Puranihi Smriti Nikara Mahabharatadi Prabandhi. Whatever you want, you pick any book that is Arsha, that has been written by a Maharshi. You show me any book that has been given by a Maharshi and I will tell you that Advaite eva Tesham Nishtha. Their Tatparya, their goal is none other than Advaita. You bring me Smriti Granthas, you bring me Manu, you bring me Yajnavalkya Smriti, you bring me Parashara Smriti. They all are geared towards Advaita. You bring me Mahabharata, you bring me Ramayana, Advaita. You bring me all the 18 Puranas and Puranas, Advaita. So this is the case because this Jivan Mukti exists and our acharyas desperately want us to get it as soon as possible. Which is why, again, in that Rasima Pancharatna, he says, Cheto Bhringa Brahmasi Vritha. Why, the manas is a bee. Why do you go here and there? Bhaja Bhaja Lakshmi Narasimhana Padasarasya Makaranda. When I spoke about this Rasima Pancharatna 2 or 3 seconds ago, I thought of a different interpretation. I asked Acharya, made sure it was proper, and then I put it in front of him. So this Lakshmi Narasimha Pada can be interpreted not just to mean the Devata that is Lakshmi Narasimha, but the word Pada also means Sthana. Word Pada also means Sthana. So Ishvara Sthana means what? That Ishvaratva means Brahmatva. So when you say Ishvaratvam Bhaja, Ishvara Padam Bhaja, Bhagavad Pada is not telling us to grab Narasimha's feet and not let go. Bhagavad Pada is saying that Brahman that manifests as Narasimha attain that state, that pada, right, even in Taittiriya, Sodhana Paramapnoti, Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. So there also, Vishnu Paramam Padam does not mean Vishnu's foot. Right? Vishnu Param Padam Sada Pashnati is Goreya, also there in Tribhuvan. The Vishnu Pada does not mean Vishnu's foot, it means Vishnu's Sthana. And that Vishnu Sthana is that Sthana of Ishvara, that Sthana of that Chaitanya. So, even there Bhagavad is instructing us, do not let your mind go to Bhava Marubhumi, to this wasteland of samsara. Instead, seek refuge in the Sadasarasya, Padasarasya, the Makaranda, in the Amrita that lies. Makaranda is Amrita. Another word for Makaranda is Pushpasa, Makaranda, Amrita, these are all Pariyaya. So, instead seek the Amrita that lies in that Vishnu Pada, in that Brahmasthana. So, that is the Moksha. It is the Parama Prayojana of Vedanta, of any Shastra. So, the goal of any Darshana, to recap, is Sukha Prapti and Dukkha Nivritti. The obtainment of Sukha and the relinquishing of Dukkha. In such a way that you want Sukha that will never leave, you want to get rid of Dukkha in such a way that it never comes back. To get rid of Dukkha in that way, as we said, you go back through this chain of reasoning, you realize that the cause of Dukkha is improper knowledge, Mithya Jnana, Brahma. So, if you get rid of that, you will get rid of Dukkha permanently. That can only be done through Jnana. And this Jnana is of the nature that is born through this Shastra and Acharya Upadesha, through a Samskrita Manas, and the Sukha that follows after can be obtained in this life. Then I will finish with one thing, because we do say, Jnana sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. So we are saying that only Jnana has the capability to get rid of this, right? There is one more Visheshana that needs to be put in this Jnana. We call this Aparoksha Jnana. Paroksha means second hand. Aparoksha means first hand. That is why Aparoksha actually means Pratyaksha. But the problem is we cannot use the word Pratyaksha for Brahman, because Pratyaksha means Akshnam Prati Pratyaksham. That which is in front of the Aksha, the Indriyas. The problem is Brahman is not something that is experienced through the Indriyas, so we don't call it Pratyaksha. This book is Pratyaksha, because I see it directly through my Aksha, through my Indriyas, or even touching it. Right? My Sparsha Indriya, the Tat Indriya experiences it directly. But Brahman is not like that. So it is not Pratyaksha, so we call it not second hand. Direct is what we mean. So Aparoksha. So it has to be Paroksha Jnana, because again within Jnana, Brahma Jnana, there are two kinds. There is Paroksha Jnana and Aparoksha Jnana. Paroksha Jnana means basically what we are doing right now. You can sit down with any number of textbooks, any number of Shastras, you can convince yourself through Shravana and Manana that yes, this is the nature of Brahman. Brahman is Satchidananda, the Jiva is Brahman, the Jagat is Mithya, this is how this works, this is how this works, this is logical. You can convince yourself of all of this. So, an academic understanding of Brahman is what is called Paroksha Brahma Jnana. Unfortunately, this is not enough to get us moksha. You need Aparoksha Brahma Jnana, which means you need to experience that yes, I am Brahman. Until you get that direct experience, avidya will not go. And because before I told you why this jnana, I told you that I will tell you why this jnana has to be aparoksha. The niyama is aparoksha brahmasya aparoksha jnanenaiva nivartanam. That is the niyama. So when the Brahma is aparoksha, only aparoksha jnana can get rid of that Brahma. So for example, when the Brahma is about something that is second hand, so not about something that is pratyaksha, you can get rid of that through something that is not directly experienced. But when the Brahma relates to something that is directly experienced, that can only be gotten rid of through knowledge that is directly experienced. So the common example that they give is, there is one Rajakumara, there is one son of a king, and for whatever reason, he is brought up in the forest. He does not know that he is a king. Right? So until then he thinks, okay, I am a forester, or I am poor, let us say. He thinks I am poor, I am a daridra. So this for him is aparoksha. Right? He experiences it. This is not something that he has inferred. This is not something that he has read. This is not something that someone has told him. He experiences it. Right? He experiences poverty. It is his direct experience that I am poor. So how do you get rid of this knowledge? How do you get rid of this improper cognition? Now you can tell him, listen, you look like the, for example, inference, you look like the king, therefore you must be the king's son, therefore you are not poor. Will that get rid of his ajnana? No. You can give him some vakya, you can have someone that he trusts write for him, you are not poor, you actually have a father. This might get rid of his ajnana, but not completely, because he will not feel the lack of being poor. The only way to get rid of his misconception that he is poor is if you take him and show him the kingdom and say, look, this is your father, this is your kingdom, you are so wealthy. Only then, when he experiences his wealth first hand, only then will he get rid of the Brahma that is also first hand for him. In the same way, when the Brahma is that Aham Jivaha, Aham Kinchitnyaha, Aham Alpashaktiman, Aham Alpajnanavan, Aham Parichinnaha Asmi, when the nature is of this direct experience, right? We all fear for death. Kasmat Bhayamiha, Bhagavad Prashnottara Uttamaya, Kasmat Bhayamiha. What is it that causes fear to everything? Marana. Death causes fear to everything. So why are we scared of death? Because we so closely feel that this body-mind complex is actually who we are. So because the nature of this Brahma is first hand, the reversal of this or the removal of this can only be through knowledge that is also first hand. Which is why we stress over and over again that is why Bhagavad wrote Aparokshanubhuti and not Parokshanubhuti. Right? That is why Bhagavad wrote Swatmanirupana and not Paratmanirupana. Right, so there is a reason why again and again we stress that this Atma Jnana needs to be Aparoksha. Because at the end of the day, Moksha is for whom? It is for you. So if you want to experience Moksha, it has to be your Atma that you know by yourself. That is what we call first hand. So this Aparoksha Jnana is the goal of all of our Shastras and all of our Siddhantas. It is the goal of Advaita, and this Advaita Jnana has been given to us so that we may reach that moksha, which is the highest goal that humanity can attain. Which is why everything else is called Trivarga. Right? This Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It is a Chatur Varga Purushartha. So it is a group of four. But it is not really a group of four. We separate as Trivarga and Apavarga. Moksha has a very specific name called Apavarga. So Apavarga means that which does not even fall into this Trivarga. Varga Apastam, Apavarga. Apagatam Varga Apavargam. We can take it this way also. That which is very distinct from Dharmartha Kama. And that is actually what Nachiketa asked. Anyatra Dharmat, Anyatra Adharmat, Anyatra Asmat Kritavatat, Anyatra Bhodacha Bhavyacha, Yattat Pashyasi Tatvara. That is what he asks him. He says, tell me whatever you know that transcends Dharma and Adharma. Tell me whatever you know it is that transcends time. So whatever permanent thing that exists, I want that. Which is why also if you look at the progression of Nachiketa's boons, the first thing he asks as a jiva, he asks, what does he ask? Shanta Sankalpa Sunayatasya Bhitamanjal Gautamamahimutyo. May my father not be angry with me. This is as a son, as a child, one that has upset his father, he has asked this. Put this aside. The next one he asks, Tattvam Sargamadhyeshu Mrityo. Right? You know of that Agni that gives Sarga. So, Prabhuruhi Tam Shraddhadhanaya Vakyam. Tell me about that Agni. And this is the Nachiketa Agni, the Nachiketa Agni Chayana, through which you get Svarga. So, first he asks about the Svarga sadhana. And then only after he has heard this, then he asks, Geyam Prete Vichikitsa Manushye Asti Ityeke Nayam Asti Ityeke. Only after he has taken care of his personal relationship with his father, and only after he has understood this Svarga sadhana from which you can attain Svarga, it is after that, after these Dharma Kamarthas have been put aside completely, that Nachiketas then asks Yama about people say that even once this goes Prete, once this has gone, people say that it exists, it does not exist. And then the second part of the question is this. Anyatra dharma, anyatra dharma. past dharma and past adharma also. Anyatra krita krita. There is something that is krita and something that is akrita. There is something else that is beyond all of this. Something that is beyond my relationship with my family. Something that is beyond this Svargagni that you have taught me that will give me Svarga. There is something that is beyond all of this. Tell me what that is. So that is why moksha is called apavarga. It is quite distinct because it gives us something that the other way cannot. So it is this moksha, kaivalya. Another way we said, this is why moksha is called apavarga. Moksha is also called kaivalya. What is kaivalya? Kevalasya bhava kaivalyam. Kevala means to be alone. Only is what kaivalya means. Kaivalya means the state of existing alone. Now, it is very clear that no one that is a Dvaiti has the right to use this word to mean moksha. Because in all of the Siddhantas that propound Dvaita, moksha is not kaivalya because you are not alone. It is not the state of existing as yourself. That is what kaivalya actually means. It does not mean being alone as I will lock myself in a room and die alone. It means alone as there is nothing else that exists besides you, Atman, Brahman. So that this kaivalya cannot be used for the moksha of the other schools of thought because you are there, Vishnu is there, you are there, Shiva is there. There is no kaivalya. But for the Advaita's moksha alone, this word kaivalya is applied. There is another word that is less used but is still there, nirvana. Nirvana is another word. The Buddhas use this, we also use it. The Buddhas use it more or less for the same reason that we use it. Nirvana means to be extinguished. Extinguishment. That is what nirvana is. So, for example, if there is a fire, there is a candle, and you blow the candle out, that is called nirvana. You have nirvana. That is also more or less the same thing. To put something out, that is nirvana. So, what it means is, there are various tapas that occur. Right? Tapas are heats that we have. Tapatraya, we have this, right? So all of these exist again, as we said, because of the identification with the body-mind complex. Now, what you are doing is you are blowing that particular candle out. So that is gone. Because that is gone, you are calling it nirvana. Because samsara is extinguished. Because ajnana is extinguished, moksha is also called nirvana. So just looking at the names of things itself, we get a pretty good idea of what kind of a moksha it is that Shastra talks about and what kind of a moksha it is that our acharyas intend to lead us to. So with these few words, and once again offering my Sartanga Pranamas to the Balatatmas of the acharyas, I will stop here. Ityesha Vangmi Puja Srimad Shankara Padayor Arpita Tena Devesha Priyatam Me Sadashiva Tavatatpanna Janami Kidrishosi Maheshwara Yadrishosi Mahadeva Tatashaya Namo Namaha Mangalam Stambhatimbhaya Mangalam Dattibhrityave Mangalam Raudrarupaya